Hello everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode in the Arc Dev Kit series. I had like a really cool intro that was supposed to be, playing with music and all that kind of cool stuff, and well, that didn't happen. So I ended up just doing this nice little the scene that you get to look at. It, it's it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. So I guess we're gonna be having a little bit of fun today. What I decided was to start revive the tutorial series, and what I'm gonna do is start doing a little bit more complex stuff in the Arc Dev Kit. You could say not really complex stuff, but more of fan requests. Because I've noticed that I've actually been getting quite a few comments asking me to make more tutorials. I didn't know if this was actually helpful at all to anybody, just to be realistic. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to load up into the dev kit. Okay, so we're here in the dev kit. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working on a creature. Now, it doesn't matter what creature you're working on because of the fact that realistically it can be done on anything. You can have a dino, you can have any, say, imported creature or anything that you have. All you're going to need to make sure that you have is your animations that you're going to need. Like, so say specifically whatever you want to make into that animation is what you're going to utilize. So make sure you have everything you need before you start, and if you don't have everything you need, pause the video and go get it first. Don't waste your time doing this part of the tutorial unless you've followed quite a bit of the other tutorials. So what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm working on a Pokemon that I'm going to be putting into an event. It's actually going on for tomorrow for the 3rd. We have a big event going on. So what I'm actually doing is I'm creating something new for it. So I thought I'd show in a tutorial how I'm going to accomplish some of the stuff for it. So as you can see, the creature that I has some basic idols, and isn't that nice? We have some crappy ass eyes. You see, because I have my texture person, Vinny Nutsack, working on the textures, and well, until then, we get to look at this crap. Isn't that lovely? Fucking shit! Fucking shit. Like, I hate when you have to notice the stupid little things. Like that tweaks me. Okay, so he was complaining to me. This is a guy that was telling me that this stuff wouldn't be important. Okay, so right now at this point when we look at this, the eye is on the other side of the pupil, and he was like worried that it'd be too big in his texture. Like seriously, the iris is just completely outside this eyeball right now. On the normal default Pokemon texture, I'm pretty sure I can deal with some fucking goddamn eyes that are normal size. Ah, can't wait to see those new textures. Anyways, back to what I was doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into these animations and we're going to utilize something to make it so that we can set off a beam in our attack. So pretty simply, we're going to be setting in this so that I want to make it as capable for you guys to be able to take and utilize what I show you with the stuff that you per se have in your kit. So necessarily it's not going to be just me utilizing a whole bunch of stuff that you don't have. So I'm going to show you that you can utilize the stuff in the kit, even though you may not know you could have in the first place. This is great. My coffee got cold. This thing don't seem to be working. Anyways, um, so what we're going to do is I have this attack right here. And as you see, it has a set, just pretty much simple effect going on. Now, nothing really has gone on in this so far. This would be pretty much if you were looking at a normal dino at this point. So say you were looking at an attack, like a melee attack or something like that. I really can't fucking stand those goddamn eyes. Like, seriously? Like, look at that shit. Everything else looks cool about him. I mean, oh, look, it wavy in the fucking eyes. Oh, my God. Like, I almost want to, like, start something else. Anyways. So what we're going to do is, now when, say, per se, an animal or a creature were to make their attack, they're going to have not only the beam itself come out, but they're going to have some sort of particle effect, like, so pretty much, say if you were looking at Dragon Ball Z or any of those type lore, you're going to make it so that they would have some sort of particle coming out with it. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to attach a particle at its hand. And also I'm going to attach a sound effect that we can just utilize from Arc just so that it sets something off. So if we go in, we're going to pick our particle to go on his hand. Now you can utilize really any particle that you want. If you go into your filters right here, you'll see that you have the particle systems as a checkbox. If you make sure to have that checked, you go in. We can look through, and there's going to be a whole bunch of different random particles that are going on. But what we're looking for is like something that's going to be for a split second and go away. So something in Arc that may do that is, let's say, a teleporter. Okay, so we have these right here. If we look through these, we could probably find something that would do something cool. Okay, so you see this? This is causing a certain effect for a certain period of time. So if I save it again, it'll make it so that we can see what's going on here. Great. Like the entire reason that I did that was so that I could see it again, and I didn't even get to see the particle go again. That's fucking great. Fucking can't stand this shit. You know, I'd rather just be using the other particles, but no, I gotta use this crap. Anyways, so if we go in here, you'll see that the lifetime. Oh, that's fucking great. Now you want to go. You know, if I can't do this today. You know, drinking cold coffee. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm making a tutorial for Arc. This is great. Anyways, so if we look at the lifetime, you'll see that it is at 1 second for minimum and 3 seconds for maximum. So when it sets off in the effect, you see it's about, I'd say about a second. So we're going to want to set this to a different one, but first, before we do anything, we're going to want to duplicate, and then we're going to want to drag that duplicated piece into our folder wherever we're working. Obviously you're going to be working in something else, but this is just per se dragging into your folder so that you can utilize it. Now that we have a duplicate, you're going to, normally I would tell you to copy stuff, but what you're going to do, since you made a duplicate of this, is you're just going to move it. Now, once you go in here, you'll see that you have your particle. You're going to want to rename it to something new. So we're going to name it as the beam particle. We're going to double click that. Now, to make it a little more interesting, we're going to go in and see into the color over life. You'll see these values. If you don't see these values, by the way, it's because you have your distribution minimized. So just hit your distribution, go into your constant curves. These things may not be open right away for you, but what we could do is we can change these. So the way to think about it is these are your red, blue, and greens. Oh, is it red, blue, green? Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure. So you're going to want to set these to pretty much, so if you want more red, you're going to put a 5 here, you're going to put a 0 here, and you're going to put a 0 here. That'll make it so you have more of a pure red. See how we have the nice red coming in now? If we put the red on all these, it'll make it so that we have like a red glow going on. So if we take this, put this in, you'll see we have the nice going on for the colors. We'll go in, change it for this one too. And then we're going to go into the lifetimes, because just like I said, we want to have it so that there's less lifetime. And we're going to go in and make it 1 second for this, 1 second for this. And we're going to save that. We're going to go into our Mewtwo. Now, the trick is if you're clicked on your particle and then you go into your animation and start working, it's just gonna kind of pull it in from wherever you're at. So if we go in and we go to right click on the notify and we add notify and particle system, it's automatically gonna do that. You see how it's put it in the world, but right now it has no socket. So we need to have it be put on a socket. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop it right where the main animation is. I'm going to go into where the hand is for the right hand. We're going to add a socket. We're going to call that the particle beam. We're going to click where the particle is right here. We're going to go into bone name and we're going to put particle beam because that or whatever your socket is that you decided, and click whatever it is that is the one that you made. So it's going to set that to particle beam, and if you notice, if we play it, it's trying to put it on my hand at this point. Now what you can do, obviously, because it's too big, you're going to go in. You can go in and you're going to see this if you make this a little bigger so that you can see. Your particle scale is at 1.0. If we put this at 0.1, this will make it so that we have more of a smaller effect going on. You see, it's still a little too big. So we're going to put 0, 1. Okay. Now we're getting what we wanted. See how we have like a little ball coming off? But obviously, as you can see, it's kind of a little offset wrong. And also it's going at the wrong time. So what we're going to do is you don't want to ever just click and drag the socket, so you want to click out, click on it again, go into the move, and you're going to drag that down, move that out, because we're trying to put that in front. And also, we want to move the beam to be more when it's going there. So, see how it's right at the end, right where it needs to be, a little bit before. Little bit more. Okay. Okay. And if we bring it in just a little bit, it looks like it's coming right out of the hand. You see that? Perfect. Which is usually not how this goes. So, I'm a little intrigued to see how it goes from here, because it doesn't usually go this good. So, what we're going to do from here is take this, since we already have our animation set up. Now, I haven't really gone over doing blueprints and stuff like that for you guys. And, I mean, I have a little bit, but not to the point of really being able to set up your own, like, creatures. So this will be more of a medium kind of explanation. So what I'm going to be taking is, so say if you had dinos or creatures or whatever, and you needed to make a new blueprint, but you, say, made your own animations and everything like that. The way it normally works is you would make an animation graph, and you'd make that animation graph work with your blueprint. Now, I've already done that, so I will be utilizing a base and everything that I've already created. But what I would explain to anyone else that may per se want it, if it is requested enough, I will show how to make an animation graph so that you guys know how to do it. But I'm not going to just do it randomly. If it's requested in the comments, I definitely will. So, pretty much what I'm going to be doing is, if I look at Mewtwo right now, he has this. So this is what you normally would have. Just ignore this for now because of the fact that I want to make sure you guys understand how this works. So say you're making an animation graph, you can utilize a lot of things, but I'm just going to be using a base that I have. By the way, another thing is if anybody has any requests for that kind of stuff, just let me know and I'll kind of explain things a little better. So what I'm going to be using is a graph that has been set up to be a parent. So what that's really going to be utilizing is, so I'm going to go in. Let's see here. Okay. So for this, I'm going to take it, go down to the Mewtwo that we're working on, which is Mewtwo Y, obviously. We're going to take the skeleton. We're going to create a rig from it. You may recognize some of the steps that I'm going to do from other previous tutorials. We're going to hit a save all. And then we're going to go into the skeleton. We're going to retarget. Go to our rig. Now on my other screen I'm pulling up the rig. So we're going to pull in the rig that you would do. So pretty much you type what you're looking for. And then what you're going to do, you don't need to touch any of this other stuff. You're just going to hit save pose. And then close it. Save. Once you have that done, you're going to go up. Find whatever animation blueprint you're using. For this one, I'm just going to right click, retarget. I'm going to hit show only compatible, and then I'm going to type in what I'm looking for in the correct folder. Okay, right here. What the? Okay, right here. Now we're going to hit save all. We're going to go down to the Mewtwo Y. And you'll see at this point that there is a new BP in here. We're going to double click that. Now, it's a whole mess in here, like, obviously. You don't, that's nothing to worry about. Oh, that's great. I didn't even do it to the right fucking one. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That was completely pointless. Great, now I get to see her and fucking delete shit. Oh no. Like, now it's all messed up. Like, great. It has all its other attacks? Okay, cool. We're good otherwise. Just gotta delete these real quick. Just what I want to be doing right in the middle of a tutorial. Waiting for assets to delete. That I didn't need. Perfect. Still drinking cold coffee. You didn't need to be here either. Okay, so we're gonna go back up, and normally you would just do the parent. I mean, not the parent, the base. So normally I would just go into here and retarget this one. You wouldn't normally do the parent. You do the base material, like your instance. It's just like a material. Um, so I'm gonna go in the Mewtwo Y. Oh, and the annoying noise is my vape. I'm trying to quit smoking. Like, it's not going well. Anybody has any tips, let me know. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down to where Mewtwo Y is. And he should have a new Mewtwo Y animation. There it is. Double click that. And we'll go into here. And so, in here he looks a little messed up, I know. But that's no big deal. What we're going to do is, this one was just something set up from another animation graph that was just edited from other ARC stuff. If you guys want a tutorial on that, just let me know and I'll post that up. What we're going to do is, I'm going to just replace these with the animations from my character. That's great. This isn't even the right one. That's hilarious. Oh, what the oh my god, stupid fucking shit. Oh great, now I get to sit. Oh my god, I just fucking clicked this shit. Why did I click this? Oh my god, now I get to sit here for like 5 minutes. To watch it rebuild something that it isn't rebuilding. See, heads up to any future, YouTubers, to make sure to set this stuff up more correctly for your tutorials when you're doing them. Otherwise, this may happen. Arc always gets you. Yep, just go to say here. Cold coffee looking at rebuilding. Oh, here we go. We got something. So, we're going to look for Pokemon. Parent. And we're just looking for the ground one that I made. It's going to mess with the graphing and everything like that. So, this is going to change. Like a bunch. Once that's changed up, what we're going to do is we're going to go into here. We're going to change the idle. We're going to change the walk. For now, I'm just setting this because he doesn't really swim. For this, he does have a... No, he doesn't. So, for this, we're just going to have this. For the run, set this. And for his sleeping, we'll set this. Press strict compile. And save. We're going to go into here. Now, here's another thing, just so you know. Now, for the people who like, play as a dino and any of that stuff, the way that it works is you're making your character smaller when you go into it, like the socket that you're riding on. So the easiest way to do that is to just go into your skeleton, and on your waist socket, all you have to do is just add a socket, name it rider socket. And then all you have to do is just go in here and change this to 0.01. And save. Then that's all set up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of bring in something from a different creature that I'm using, because it's just going to be following the same logic. But anytime you're doing this, all you have to do is just pretty much copy a dino or whatever character BP you're using. And I'm just naming it Mewtwo Y, because that's what mine is, per se. You're probably going to be using a dino or some other creature. Now, obviously, once we're in here, we're going to make it so that we're going to grab our skeletal. We'll put it in the skeletal slot. We're going to put our animation slot that we made into here. Now if we look at the components tab, you'll see that he's floating a little bit above this. So what we're going to do is to fix your height to make things at the ground level, you're going to go to capsule. You see how it's at 80? If you look at your mesh, it's going to be this, like your capsule half height. So -80 is correct technically. So, but the capsule needs to be a little bit taller. So it'd be about 110. And then at that point you're going to do just like I said, -110. Pull that into there. Now the way I have a Pokemon character BP already set up in this. If people want to know how to learn how to make that, just let me know. I'll show you how to set up character BPs so that you don't have to constantly go in and switch stuff every time. It just pretty much stabilizes setting up all your new creatures, balances it easier. So you don't have to do all the same stuff in every BP. Like, you can tame everything. You don't want to have to check that box every time, so you just make a character BP for it. But, so we're just going to leave it at this for now. You go into description, change it to what you want. For your custom, you always want to have a custom just so that you can spawn it in easy. But make sure when you do your custom that you per se don't. Oh, just great. Just dropping shit right in the middle of oh, man. See, this is what happens. Been tapping my cup. Nothing's happening. It's the whole problem. Back to what I was saying. You want to make sure to leave it as one word, because otherwise it may not work. So pretty much the easiest way to do this, right? I'm just going to drag this over here on my other monitor, and we're going to hit a save all. And we're going to set it so that we need to make some montages. So we're going to make a montages folder. Now for your montages, you're going to need an attack montage. So we're going to use an attack montage, a beam montage, a knockout montage, and a startled montage. You're just going to create montage. So just create animation montage. We're going to drag those in here and move them. Now remember, when you put the particle on, it's on the animation sequence. It's not on the montage. So if you look, the part where'd the particle go? What the fuck? I just did it. So fucking annoying. Leave it to this. What did I name it? Particle beam? This is what happens. This is why no one gets anything done. Right in the middle of doing something, you have to redo it. Okay, so he has his hand and it's on his sequence, not on his montage. Now on his montage, what we're going to do is we're going to go in on his end, we're going to make a melee socket, because I want to have it do a little bit of damage also to the radius in front of you. And you also need a melee socket to activate the notify inside your montage. So you're going to do this, this default, you'll want to set to full body. You're going to want to scroll down to here, you're going to want to right click, add notify state, animation notify state custom. Drag this out a bit. We're going to change this to melee swing. Now, if you're making a melee itself, you're going to want to copy this, go into your other attack that's, say, your melee attack. You're going to want to set that to full body. You're going to want to scroll down. You're going to want to copy and paste that melee swing. You're going to want to go back to your beam. And see, the way that I would show you guys how to do this the easiest is, sorry about that, that's great, I was just recording half of that and I didn't even show you guys half of that. That's great. Okay, so the notifies are put here, Like the melee swing is right here. All you did was you right click, manage notify. Well, add notify state, animation state, and then you just rename it to melee swing. Make sure you put in a melee socket right here. And okay, so to show you guys that you can utilize copying some of these notifies and everything like that, a good way to explain where it's really coming from is if you go into Primal Earth, for one thing that you would utilize for the ranged projectile, if we go down and we look for Dillo, you'll find Dillo, go into animations, go into animations for the montage for the spit. We'll scroll down and you'll see ranged projectile. We're going to copy that, go into the Mewtwo, and then we're going to put the projectile in the same spot. And then we're going to copy this. We're going to go into our Mewtwo Y character BP, go to AI. We're going to scroll back up so that we can see what's in our montages folder and everything. And then we're going to set, so this one has at this moment 2 attacks. The second attack we're going to set to the beam. And for the projectile class, oh great, I clicked something else that's going to screw shit up. That's awesome. I'm going over a lot more than I thought I was going to go over in this tutorial. But I might as well just gotta bang it out all at once. So we're pretty much, for the projectile, I could go over making Euro projectiles later in another tutorial, if people want it. But we're just going to be using the lightning. So that pretty much it's just showing you how to set up the projectile sockets and everything like that. Once it lets me do something, you know, just sitting here. Man, this coffee tastes like fucking shit. Ugh, it's cold. Ugh. Anyway. Oh, well, here we go, it worked. So we're going to go to lightning. Go to lightning ball. And then we're going to go to leading. Because leading is what the lightning uses. Just so you, if you guys are wondering why I'm using leading. Seriously, I just went through a loading bar to wait for this one. You'd think this one would have loaded at the same time. Just gonna sit here. Waiting for the arc that could do something. Any day. Yep. This is great. So, we're going to go to range leading. We're going to go up to our first attack. And we're going to add the animation there, which is our attack montage. You can see, once you change that. These are montages, so you can't put sequences in here. I'm going to put this here, but you don't have to. I would name your setup. So if we look, and if we look for the ranged, if you look for the range socket for that one, if you remember, we copied it from earlier. It's just the one that's being used for your particle. So this will be your range socket, this will be your melee socket. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit and save all. we're going to drag a Mewtwo out, and then we're going to take the Mewtwo. If you go over to details, go to force all. This is going to make it so it's tamed when I start in, and you just right click and play from here. This may take a minute, so we get to sit here and watch it say starts a game preview. Now remember, the way I've set it up is so that we're going to go into it, we're going to be able to ride it, and because of the socket that we've changed, we're going to be able not visible. So this is how you would utilize making your own play as a dino, and everything else pretty much has already been set up. We have a melee attack. Make sure that when you're setting up your animation attacks that you have a it's set on default full body. Make sure you have a socket for your melee swing, a notify. Make sure you put a ranged projectile on the socket that's being used for the projectile itself. And when going in the character BP, you need to make sure to have montages, not expect sequences to work. And montages you saw are easy. You just right click, make one. This is great. Just go see or watch this. Wonder if the eyes are done yet. They looked a lot better than the crap I'm looking at right now. Oh, I don't understand why I'm still drinking this coffee. This is great. I wonder if it's actually going to load within the time period that it would be worth showing this. Well, realistically, the way this whole setup has gone, everything will be working because of the fact that the range sockets and everything like that are all working. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to end this episode right here. And if you guys would like me to continue on this episode and go further in the attacks for Mewtwo Y and everything like that, so you guys can learn a little bit more, at this point, if I load it up and get in, I'm going to be shooting a beam out of its arm with a ball coming off it. So that's pretty much what's going to be happening. So I hope that you guys ended up enjoying this series episode, and if you guys want to see more, make sure to comment, and I will look into pretty much whatever you guys need me to do. Um, I'm getting a little bit more open free time to be able to work on these tutorials again, so I hope to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next episode.